that man's my brother, but like, I don't want to agree with him here.
They
But
went back to
I
it.
agree with him here. I'd rather agree with him here than you, and that tells you something, Austin.
The Invoker, which I'm kind of feeling an Exort Invoker for this game. I mean, the Classworks Invoker looked really good from no one, so I won't blame them whatsoever if they go back to it. But I'm kind of digging an Exort Invoker this
You know
game.
why? Because of the tiny circle that Bane and Axe forces you into.
Yes.
That's legitimately what you're thinking.
I just think they have nice heroes to set it up. All right, man. Now maybe with an OD, maybe you're supposed to go Classwex.
This is such a VP thing to do. If they were like, if Puppy did this and he ever lost, people would just call him arrogant.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing, it's like, oh, that's a sick Luna mount, by the way. Big fan of that.
I'm glad you're happy with it.
Oh, look, dude, look at that Murana. The mount is so, like, it's so fluffy looking. It looks like your cat.
Yeah, but you hate cats.
What? I don't hate cats. I hate your cat. I think your cat looks dumb as hell.
My cat is adorable, and Blitz hates my cat. I don't know why.
Because it's got just like a kind of like a chubby looking face. I don't know. Something about it like PTSDs me.
This last big OD, is it a game winner?
Hard to say. It could be.
Okay. I will tell you in their qualifiers, they won 6 out of 8 of their games with OD.
Okay.
A solid 75% win rate in a very tough qualifying region. In fact, OD was actually the most banned by the opponent teams throughout the qualifiers. That was everybody's go-to ban against RNG was OD. All right, we'll see. Hopefully it's enough for RNG, because last game was definitely a little one-sided. It felt like VP was kind of running the show after once that no one Invoker came online, man.
Dude, it did not take him very long to come online either.
Yeah.
He came online instantly.
He made, it was funny, he like made the first rotation. You were talking about the, you know, who's going to blink between the mids and like who's going to rotate and who's going to just TP in and counter-initiate. And no one was the first to move out, but he didn't actually find an opening to commit to a kill. And then every rotation after that was actually made by Setsu. No one was the one responding, hitting him with Tornado, EMP after he'd already used his orb. Are we going to have to tri-lane for VP against this Ogre-Murana duo?
I think so. I think otherwise, like, you're never going to right-click out the Murana or the Ogre.
And I guess you've got, like, I think you have enough confidence to Pasha to be able to cut waves against an Elder Titan. I don't think Elder Titan can stop that well enough. We'll see, but... Remember Moo was doing this every game? The very deep cut behind the... Moo was the first person I saw doing this.
Dude,
where he goes to the top left corner, cuts all the way through to behind the tier 2 area. So he's going to skip out on the very first wave and then all of a sudden pop out, hitting the second wave. And honestly, that timing is really important, because if the supports aren't there against you right away, if you get the full wave, no denies, that gets you to level 2. And then the battle against the support that's trying to keep you out is much easier.
Okay.
Nice arrow to be land. Roger, he may have picked up that bounty rune, but it's going to cost him his life here. His flyby is going to be the one to get the first blood.
I'm starting to notice a trend with flyby. This guy just likes to pick heroes that can run and fight you.
Yes.
No holds barred. Okay, please learn from last game, though. If you get like a 3-minute hood for whatever reason, or like a mech, it doesn't mean you're invincible, friend.
Yeah.
It just means you're strong.
Look at Afu. He's looking all over the place. So Afu is kind of wise to what is Pasha going for here, which is skipping out on the first wave, trying to cut. And he's going to try and get here right away. If you can deny even just one creep, that means he doesn't get level 2 right away, and then he doesn't start keeping you out with Battle Hunker.
That was so ambitious.
Yeah, a little bit.
From like a straight angle, too, is the funniest part.
Pasha. He's just going to keep going around here and try and group up the creep waves, I think. I'm not sure if you TP out at some point. Oh man, he popped out under the tier 2 area. Oh Jesus, Pasha.
Pasha?
I don't know what he expected. Maybe he didn't realize where he was on the map. I'm not sure if that was the place to cut down into the lane. Literally right into the tier 2. Well, Flyby is doing something similar here, though he can't actually kill the creep wave. He's just trying to pull it all the way around. Keep it away from any of the neutral camps that can be pulled. Go all the way around. Meanwhile, our mid lane matchup, look at that. No one already has Exord. William.
Dude, I didn't doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying, I know why you think that.
Yeah,
I thought
and
it was adorable.
right. And I was right.
What logic?
Thank you.
No, you know, I'll give you plus to that.
Oh, nice arrow. He probably had his screen not looking anywhere in that direction.
Nobody ever does, sir.
Nobody ever does, Lana. It's, what, two for 3?
Yeah.
2 out of 3 arrows?
I mean, the one miss was fucking. It's just kind of like, fly, and it just completely whiffed. No one even gave him the tip because he didn't have to have the setup.
Well, no one's not going to be feeling great about that because he was already a little bit behind in CS against that OD. Solo. A little bit low here is a hefty creep push coming in. They're going to try and catch Pasha, though. Pasha already having the missile on him.
Only level 2 right now. I mean, you told me this was fine.
I imagined it was going to be fine, but then the Mirana was willing to rotate. And I think that definitely makes a difference. I just figured the ET by himself wouldn't be able to force Pasha out.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Doesn't, though? I feel like the ET's not bad either. He's like probably one of the few melee supports that doesn't struggle like impossibly hard.
Yeah.
You know, I tried during the Axe meta where like there was offlane Axe every game. I started picking Timber
Yeah.
as a support.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's a terrible idea.
It was so that I could just like walk up and queue him.
How did that work for you?
That one was actually one of my worst ideas.
Yeah, I don't need to see that one in action to tell you
thought
that's
it was
a
like
terrible idea.
18 layers deep into like some genius theory that like pros just hadn't thought of.
You thought you had done the galaxy brain move?
Yeah, but I was way too smooth.
0-3 RNG. Do have the slightly in. Flyby's going to be pretty happy. 3 range creeps pushing into his tower. Meanwhile, Pasha just keeps on getting shoved away. That is the big advantage, is that the homing missile, in a weird way, the range and delayed reaction of homing missile actually just makes it really difficult for you to commit for cutting these creep waves. And Monet's just not letting up. I really like the way they're shutting down this Axe.
Dude, he's level 2 right now.
Yeah.
And he's trying to drag it to the next creep wave so that he can get more spin. Oh, he actually dies to neutrals.
Wow, that is really unfortunate for RNG.
I don't actually think it matters that much. What did you just lose there? Like a little bit of XP and 120 gold? He's level 2.
I like what
like
Afu did.
4.
You see Afu in the top left? He actually just caught the creep wave, and then he just pulled it around in circles. So they're still going to maintain that creep equilibrium, or at least try to. Unfortunately, it got underneath the tower when Monet showed up. But the idea was to keep the creep equilibrium so Axe is not going to get anything free fed to him. And Pasha has actually given up on trying to cut the creep waves. He's now committed to doing some neutraling, but Lanham, he has an invis. Unfortunately, doesn't actually spot Pasha in time. So that's going to be an invis opportunity, a bit wasted. Speaking of neutrals, Rogers full-time committing to his stacking and clearing. As all these wisps are want to do. Ooh. The imprisonment, the Force Spirit is out though. He's going to protect himself against that. Nicely done. No one making the adjustment right away. 1 death is all he needs to learn. Not going to let that happen twice.
Early 3-0 lead, as you know, despite you saying he was going to go for the Exort, he has still gone back for his previous item build.
Yeah. So,
Pretty curious.
do you think you just want 2 levels of Exort? Do you need that extra damage against, maybe it's just the Force Spirit?
Potentially. It does help him CS a lot.
Yeah.
Normally, like, when you're against an OD and you're struggling, you just pick heroes that can throw things on the ground.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking just the Forge Spirit to protect against this in Prism and Arrow combo. Right? Because, like, what other options do you have as an Invoker to deal with that?
Yeah, true.
I think that's the only one. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. Flyby is going to die here as our solo, rather. With this Haste Rune, is just going to keep pace, giving the vision over to Ramses to make sure they get that kill, even with being hit by an arrow. There's no real fear of death here. Pasha is beginning to find some farm, but it's at the cost of totally giving up this lane to RNG, and they're actually going to be able to take an offlane tower at 7 minutes in.
This just speaks volumes to about how hard Pasha's been shut down.
Yeah.
And like what a concerted effort they've made just to ruin this game.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about playing offlane nowadays, in my personal opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, like there's one of two ways you can go for it, where you can like hard try to do this to him, where you keep the axe down as like much as you possibly can, keep him as low level, force him to jungle and stuff like that, or you don't even bother half the time. You just like let him do it. Your support souls go do other things. This game, they've hard committed to ruining his game.
I totally agree. Half measures do not work against the axe cutting creep waves.
Yeah. Because eventually he'll just get hits.
Yeah.
But like if you hard commit like this,
you maintain that low level, making it easier and easier for supports to have an impact. If you do the half measure, the problem is that this axe will get like a level or 2 ahead of you, and you as 1 or 2 supports just do not have the impact so much on him anymore. But keeping him at the same level as you nonstop, you're not afraid of his battle hunger, you're ready to fight him as much as possible.
plus I think this hero doesn't love just pure jungling, right? That's one of the things too.
Yeah,
like
right away
jungle,
you don't
but
like it.
It's like Darkseer, where you have a function of jungling, but for whatever reason it just doesn't feel that good.
Yeah, when you first saw Pasha in the jungle, like that's how you know his laning phase went terrible, because you were talking about it, right? Like jungle, it just doesn't give you as much as it used to, especially in the experience category, and Axe needs that experience.
I think that's partially why like heroes like Huskar are just not seen as much anymore either.
Yeah.
Because that was actually something like BSJ taught me. It was really cool listening to him speak about Huskar, because he was like, oh, and again, they're just gonna straight up ruin. Like, this is not a half measure. They did not negotiate.
No, not at all. We do not negotiate with axes, apparently.
What does he have? Pasha? This man is so poor, he straight up has gone back 2 patches.
Yeah, he's gone Tranquil Boots. He's like, Phase Boots is... That's out.
He got knocked so hard in the head that he's like, it's 7.0?
He got knocked into 2 patches ago?
They slapped him silly.
He's got 1 more charge. Should be fine. And yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between the mids too. The OD had a pretty massive CS lead. You can see in the net worth as well. 4,300 net worth compared to the 3K of the Invoker. So they dumpstered Pasha. They won mid really, really hard.
Dude, this feels like a very, oh my lord.
The stomp into Arrow. Bonham's reign of terror just continues against VP.
Oh,
just dodge the arrow, guys. What's going on? Call? Okay, Roger's going to be able to help you out, yes, but they're not going to be able to get any damage onto the Gyrocopters. Instead, they're going to have to go for flyby here. And Gyrocopter Buddy's actually going to come back in with that ultimate. That'll be enough to be able to save the Ogre and get the kill onto Roger. The sleep goes out, immediately woken up by the Elder Titan as quick as he can get there.
Remember when you literally told me that Mirana shouldn't work though?
It'll get figured. Just trust.
It's not one of those good
Just trust.
You know what? Okay, so what genuinely, like, not even trying to troll, like, what makes her really broken in that sense is that, like, U+1 stun is a guaranteed, like, 6-second lockdown.
Yeah.
There's no real other hero that can do that for you with her level 1 ability, right?
Yeah. And you don't have, like, any of those good saves against it here in this game. So.
In the right circumstances, I actually think that Mirana's sick good. Right there, you just saw, like, the Luna got popped. This is a very different VP than the one that we've been seeing, by the way.
Yeah.
The normal VP that we see is like very lane, win the lane, get 2 towers, Roshan, end the game in like 20 minutes.
Yes.
And this feels like a very different VP. It feels like they're trying something out. Because they've always for me been like we're gonna break you by the 20-minute mark because, you know, you're down like 8k gold.
Yeah.
That's always been.
We're gonna win the lanes. We're gonna use that lane advantage to take towers faster than you.
Yeah, and then just blitz you all over the map.
And
this is even like last game was a little bit slower than, you know, they're just farming a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying something new, or like they're not trying to just like bash their heads against the wall, like being in a meta like that. But it is something to consider for teams. This is not your usual VP as, oh boy, if Pasha died again, they've really concentrated on ruining his game. I can't ever really fault an offlaner when this happens.
Yeah.
That usually means your other 2 lanes were supposed to succeed. But they have Bane IO, so like it wasn't even like they could punish the other lane.
He can't even ask no one to go around creating space for him because no one's lane did not go very well.
Yeah, no one's now committed for this, like, I guess he's not like hard committed for it, but
He's got to get the Spirit Vessel. Get a kill somewhere so he can get some charges, and then he might be able to have some impact. But RNG, they're reading this timing. They're going to try and potentially catch no one, if not go for that mid-tier 1 tower. But he did read. Arrow comes out. Roger still taking a lot of Starstorm damage, and it's probably going to be enough. He does have the tether up, actually, but oh, can he get away? He tries to chase him. The Mirana, a couple of shots, but now he's been caught by the tornado. Cold snapped up, EMP burned out. The missile lands onto Roger, but it's not enough. But neither is it enough to be able to finish off that Mirana. Top lane, Ramses, that's twice now he's been up alone in this lane and has died for it.
the benefit of having that tower, I think, at a healthy-ish HP region, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty healthy before.
Yeah, it was at like half before he started hitting it like crazy. That's an easy defense. Because they've taken this bottom lane, there doesn't have to be a trade anymore, Cap.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, you take bottom, we take top, like, shake your hands on it.
Well, this is going to be rough because VP still have not really hit their timing, so I think this timing has got to come with a Blink Dagger, and then maybe they can go for, you know, that setting up the, oh, look at this stomp, Afu. Now, the OD is a ways away, so Afu, I don't think you're doing anything here.
Pasha's so conditioned in like death there that he just ran. He didn't even consider the possibility that, like, why is the ET running from me?
He probably told his team, he was like, I'm dead.
No, okay, so we've been seeing a lot of like
5.
casual bracers and stuff.
Yeah.
This guy is not even trying to get that casual bracer anymore.
Why is that? Is it because they want the relocate?
Oh man, he's got tranquils. I think he thinks his game is. Here we go though, the comeback.
All right. That's
Let me tell you, by the way, my predictions.
Yes.
Were all wrong.
Roger. Oh no! He tried to get the tether away, but it is immediately fire blasted by Flyby.
God, it is so annoying to play against Mirana as a support. Because also the lead mechanic it's so unique. You know, most supports don't just get their own get out of jail free card.
Yes. There's very few out there that can do that.
So I had player with the most kills in 10 minutes as Pasha, thinking like he'll dunk.
Yeah. Hey, at least you got first up by a Blink Dagger.
That one was almost impossible to miss.
Who else gets a Blink Dagger in this game?
Ogre and OD?
Yeah.
Plus the Mirana will get one too.
But not fast.
Yes.
No, nobody's thinking about that in their first 2 items.
Solo? Did they all get one? That's not good.
They made it 2-12. VP getting shut out by RNG. This is quite the turn of fates here.
Yeah, it feels like I'm watching the game in reverse. Okay, so maybe Gyro is just great, and Luna's just not. You know, she continues to be very mediocre.
Yeah. It was also a little weird that Ramses died twice without the IO being with him. Like, aren't you just supposed to be running around using your Mask Madness to kill creep waves and neutral camps really fast?
I thought they were going to play the same game.
Yeah.
This last game. And this time around, they've actually leveraged their really strong, tanky offlaner into, like, a good position. Whereas, like, last game, I felt like they I mean, they didn't really do anything with it. They just stuck them in the safe lane, and then they took like 4 bad fights in a row.
Yeah.
This time around, like they're much more willing to go for the 5-man or like the 4-man, roll through the jungle to take mid tower together.
Nice Fiend's Grip. Tornado EMP, lots of damage. The arrow's coming out, but it's not going to land. And that may not be enough. He managed to get the imprisonment off. Why is Pasha committed for that kill? The tornado will land, though. It actually sets himself up just to die to no one instead. But at least Pasha will be the trade-off. Yes, I'm pretty sure Pasha is fully committed. About 10 minutes ago, he just was like, all right, this is going to be a blink and die game. I'm just going to be blinking and calling people and dying every single time.
So far, he's 100% right. Like,
Yeah.
He read the situation perfectly. Part of it, though, is like the best part about Axe is like once you get Blade Mail, you sort of reset that for yourself.
No one hanging around. He's going to try and set up those relocate that's coming in. And Monet will indeed die. So that'll help get Ramses and Rogers back into it a little bit and the experience of that kill. That is the nice part, the sustain and such, and like Luna's so fast at being able to farm neutral camps that if they can just keep a pace of relocate, get a kill, farm.
Yeah.
Just
and the
rinse
fact
and
that
repeat.
she's died like she has in this game, and she's still leading like she is in net worth, like speaks volumes about like how fast this hero can potentially farm.
And it says volumes about Gyro's capacity to farm without the IO,
Yeah.
right? It's like the only reason he's close is because they're so far ahead in kills and towers.
But it's still only 5-4 to 13. It's just a very different VP than
Yeah,
the one we expect.
very different.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures.
Straight for the mech. Ooh, the pick off from the courier. And he's gonna still get it. That should have been flown out of his vision a lot faster.
Radiant structures are
That's not gonna be fun. Little stuff like that, that's gonna chip away at RNG's lead.
top tower.
You know, you may have the net worth lead, but if you can't actually get the items into your inventory, then game's pretty much dead even when it comes to these fights. They're trying to set up for push right now. At the bottom tier 2, they have the Gyro and Mirana, who are gonna just kind of push in that mid lane a little bit and rotate down. Make this a full 5-man, knowing that they're probably stronger right now and they have to be afraid of the no one Invoker setting up. I mean, that was a big problem, right? The Quaswex Invoker that no one displayed last game, he was getting so many pickoffs. And in part because RNG was not playing a whole lot of 5-man.
Has fallen. Dire's top tower.
So here in this game, when they're 5,000 net worth up, it's like, just group up and go for that tower.
Who do you think is going to win this game?
I feel like it's RNG. For me, it's like 60-40. But we'll see. We're about to see an Axe Luna, and I don't know if that's good or not. It is pretty incredible, damage-wise, but
I think it's really good when the enemy doesn't have any like hard way to kite you.
yeah.
And I think
And
it's
no,
also
no like pipe and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like heavy sustain items.
plus like even though there's a BKB, those heroes are like relatively static. I think it's not the worst pickup I've ever seen. In fact.
Well, on him, going for the fast pickoff onto Solo, triple leaps his way to make sure he gets in range of the Yule Scepter, and it doesn't even result in the kill.
Dude, he threw that arrow like from not very far at all.
Yeah, and it's only a level 2 arrow because he's gone more levels in Leap, because if you only go 1 level of Leap and you use your triple charges like that, it feels terrible.
Yeah, you're
Because
just
the
out of
recharge
commission
time
for
is so
Okay,
slow.
can you imagine if Solo died after that?
Yeah. But Solo is actually pushing pretty forward and will manage to get the Fiend's Grip on him, and RNG, they can't actually turn around fast enough to save him. All their abilities are just too slow of a reaction, nor should they go for it, especially with the relocate possibilities. It's actually a pretty clean play by RNG. Only giving up the Mirana here. Roger almost dying. Snap back onto no one, but
gonna
he should be
chase through?
fine with that deafening blast. Gyrocopter's going to be able to catch up to him at some point, but there's still the Ghost Walk. With maxed out Wax, you're going to be moving pretty fast.
I think the one thing they lack right now is definitive catch. Aside from like the Mirana.
Okay.
On the side of RNG. I
Yeah.
feel like it's really easy for VP to just like run circles around them. Quassex Invoker, or you just Ghost Walk as Invoker.
Yeah. Like Fire Blast is not great catch because the range is so low. Even when you get an Ether Lens and you're 100 cast range talent, it's not something you're going to feel super good about starting a fight with, you know. But it might just be enough to be able to catch Solo here. As I think he was out on perhaps a defensive warding mission, but he cut through some vision already laid out by... or actually, no. He actually didn't cut through any RNG vision. Well, Monet almost has that Aghanim Scepter. A faster BKB for him this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It seems like he really likes that BKB. In terms of getting it early, just to like secure
Yeah.
later. I don't really quite understand. It's like one of those like weird preemptive BKBs. It's like, I don't know if I'll need it, but just in case.
And it makes me wonder, like, how much of this is about the team they're facing and how much of this is just going to be his style of play for this TI.
I think it might potentially be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
It's like-
I definitely feel the idea that this is going to be more effective against VP than other teams. Like, if you're doing this early BKB against, like, classic EG, greedy EG who's trying
Yes.
to split you up, like, you're going to feel terrible about that item.
Or you could just run them over in like 20 minutes.
Or, yeah, that's true.
But VP, I don't know. Doesn't feel like they're a team that just loses in 20 minutes ever.
Oh,
Oh.
a three-man call with the blade mail out,
The
and that is
blade
the
mail.
Aghanim Scepter coming out from Afo, blowing up two. Might be able to catch Monet as well. He does have the Moonlight Shadow as well as the BKB still going up, but first he's got to get the Shrine. Roger, not hit by that arrow, but neither was he able to actually get that kill on Monet right away, but relocate over to the other side. Monet's got nowhere to run to with the Cold Snap as well as the Battle Hunger on him. He just stops and starts over and over and over again. That is a fight that VP sorely needed. Pasha coming in big time, and that is one of the things that I feel like separates good offlaners from truly great offlaners, is having just a hell of a time in the first 10-15 minutes, not getting jack all, and finding an opening like this.
I mean, that was so sick.
Yeah.
Look at that timing of that too. They were just running down that cliff all together.
I mean, that would have been an instant wipe if Une doesn't get out the BKB because they had the Aghanim Scepter for the Luna in that same timing. And it's going to get a whole lot scarier because you've got the level 20 talent coming in, the plus 125 Lucent Beam damage. Eight to 14, 3,000 net worth lead still for RNG. Blink for blink. Pasha still going to be caught though because there's a force staff up on Setsu that's going to be able to find him. Even if there's no arrow, there's plenty of setup. That's the thing. Nice save though. Look at this, Solo just going for it with the Fiend's Grip there. Immediately Setsu turns onto him, blinking forward, trying to keep Solo in place, spots him, and will be able to just rack up intelligence for himself. Still though, being forced to use that BKB for the 5 position, the captain of Virtus Pro. Maybe it'll secure them in tier 2. Is Ramses.
Top tower is under
I mean, if he doesn't have his ultimate with this Aghanim's build,
are fortified.
Oh no,
he's
one
not going to be looking for a whole lot of fights. He's going to bait out that bounty rune and see if they can get the relocate. Pasha, oh, tries to go for the call, but Yule Scepter actually out from Lanham. Can he leave himself away? Not a chance, not with those cold snaps. And look at that. I like this a lot. Whenever these teams have the awareness to be able to go for that fast tier 1 backdoor.
I actually don't think that RNG have enough lockdown. I think they're
Yeah.
just going to lose because of it.
I'm beginning to think so too.
Despite the fact that they've had the gold lead, it doesn't really feel like they're like winning.
We'll see what happens here. Are they going to have anything to be able to keep Ramses in place so they can fire blast him? Nice. Setsu coming in from the side. That was really big. The fact they got
that was
that big
greedy.
burst of damage of that hammer.
He had BKB.
Strike, that one's going to whiff.
I think he just assumed that the OD wasn't going to just like hit him with the hammer like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he had no vision of him either.
They continue to just have that kind of set. That was also a weird situation where, like, again, they didn't have, like, the Wisp in position to be able to bail Ramsey's out.
Yeah.
A lot of that has been happening, right, in this
I think
game.
Roger's has been farming a lot this game.
Yeah. Is this, you think this is just, like, how Wisp is, like, I've seen Wisp have been farming a lot more than Classic, but this is to a different kind of level. This is the most separated Wisp I've ever seen. You can see RNG really taking a good control of the ward game this time around. I think VP had a much better control over last game. Maybe that's a bit of it. Roger. Not opting for that sustain. Is going to go for the heavier damage off the Spirits, but is in trouble right now. There's no tether target. That's the thing.
He just, I mean, I feel like I've seen Roger die the same way in the same area
Yeah.
like 4 times, 3 times.
It's just such a weird VP, because I can kind of see how this is also working, because RNG is, like, in a way, they're being forced to, like, run around so much
Yeah.
to try and kill these heroes that Ramses is still getting farm and no
They're
one is still
anticipating-
finding openings.
I think what's happening really weirdly enough is that they're anticipating a fight that's never coming.
Nice. Solo. Dodging the stomp real quickly and immediately waking himself back up with the Nightmare. Roger was impressed. Same goes with Pasha in these little plays. I think that's like one of the really feel-good plays is where you're able to split push like that and just see that you forced a rotation, but you still cleared out the creep wave that you wanted to go for. And that's just more time. As a result, Ramses can play a bit more aggressive in the mid lane, knowing that there's a gyrocopter that is currently not a threat to him.
And BKB picked up too.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of BKBs coming in as no one is trying to finish up his right now.
I think once you get oh, another pick.
Activates his BKB, making sure that arrow's not going to have an effect. Afu going down, but again, RNG. They don't necessarily need their Elder Titan to be able to take a fight, but I'm not so sure if they want to go on the Ramses Luna. He's got 2,000 HP, he's got BKB, and on top of that, he's got the Wisp tethered to him.
Ding, 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 mother...
10 to 18, we're going to have to see if we're going to have some action around these bounty runes. Or if Monet and the rest of RNG are just going to utilize this Aegis picked up by the Tricopter just to be able to mow down the objectives and make sure VP can't leave their base anymore. Because it's costing him a lot. The fact that Ramses is always able to farm up these neutral camps and push out waves. He's actually very close to the 20K marker in net worth. Leaning out, just a little Cold Snap Spirit Vessel combo. Just poking at the gyrocopter, seeing if they can get take away that Aegis with low commitment.
Dude, it's always so scary to go in those kinds of positions. Because if your OD just gets caught in the back line by the axe, dies. There's no hard reset. I hear BKB get pressed.
Yeah. Whoa, whose BKB was that? We'll find it. We'll find it.
It was the ODs.
It was the ODs. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
And that is rough.
Still relatively fresh too.
But you can, I mean, fortunately because they're the team with the Aegis, they've got enough control just to be able to chill out. Monet, not scared to push out a lane by himself. He figures with the 2 lives, his team can join him. If VP do try and heavily commit. Knowing it, he just clears out this one wave, he'll be able to have his BKB. It's almost there, Blitz. The multicast solar crest.
Does it work like that?
Dude, yes, it does. It's actually insane.
Dang. That's sweet. Nope. Dude, Pasha's had his revenge and sub this game.
Yeah, Pasha's, what a recovery made by him, by the way.
0-5.
When he popped his BKB, when he made that initiation, I was like, whoa. You have a Blink Blade Mail BKB. Good on you, dude. He's really not that far behind this Midas Ogre. And that's impressive. But it's still OD and Gyrocopter. We're pretty healthy in net worth right now. Trying to catch up to this Luna. Ramses, though, has been maintaining a healthy distance. He's about to finish up his Butterfly. That is one of the super effective items. I feel like that's when he really comes online at this point, because against the OD and Gyrocopter, especially the OD, right, doesn't want to build MKB.
I mean, I think that's one of those weird things where, like, it just doesn't really do much for you.
Yeah.
Oh, he took the 6-second sacred arrow. I was about to say sacred.
Yeah.
Sacred arrow cooldown.
Dude, a 10-second, the fact that it's a 10-second cooldown, you could potentially stun someone for 5. That's scary, man. Smoke up from Virtus Pro.
Dire's bottom
But
tower is
RNG,
under attack.
they've got their own homegrown smoke in the Moonlight Shadow.
Both teams content to just sort of chill.
Who's
benefiting from this?
yeah,
war?
because I feel like in a way, like RNG has actually been
say-
growing a net worth
oh.
lead a bit. RNG, are they going to try for this one? Oh, the Fire Blast on the axe. Now he's going to get psyched up. There's a nice
the
nightmare
arrow
to be able to
missed.
find some time, but he's just too low to pop BKB and fight anymore. And Solo, who put himself in the position to try and buy Pasha some time, ends up dying as well. Now it's BKB going out from no one. Looking to be able to catch people as Pasha with a buyback is able to provide some extra catch, but that's why RNG just leave Flyby to die. But now with the BKB having been used, RNG's ready to go back in Flyby using his own buyback here. Missile chasing down Ramses. There's the call out from Pasha. Managed to lock down this OD. That's a massive kill. Gets the culling blade on him. Monet finally forced to pop his own BKB and try and go for the kill on no one. Paraji is there with the mech and the tether. A fast heal up, and RNG realizing they've missed their window. They've got to back up.
Oh no! If that OD doesn't die there, they wreck that fight.
Yeah. But Pasha, once again, he found his opening. I don't know where he was hiding, how he got into blink range on this OD, but it is a game win. He's just got to keep that up. Roger actually going for the BKB. No guarding grease or anything. No further sustain items.
I mean, both teams kind of have this initiation problem right now,
Yeah.
especially because of the BKBs.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you just see these fights coming. Arrow! No one runs headlong into it. The ET, they are going to be able to get a nice ult out of him, but sadly, because the OD is still dead for 30 seconds, there's just nothing to follow it up.
That was so funny because of the way that he spell usage. I thought for sure he would have seen it, but I guess he was in too tight of a corridor.
Yeah.
Made it sort of impossible for him to be able to reset that position anyway.
And this is always scary when you finally give up map control in the enemy team and they've got to carry like this.
Yeah.
They just mow down towers.
I mean, this is the benefit of Luna at this phase, right?
Yeah.
Also, the fact that he decided to keep his Mask of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did he just sell it?
Yeah.
Couldn't he just...
He's all about that Scotty now.
Yeah,
He's not thinking about Satanic.
Okay.
He's got the sustain of bliss. He's like, I don't need the lifesteal. I've got a 25 talent as well.
I mean, my question was like more geared to the fact that he could have used the quarter.
Yeah. For the
I'm okay with
butterfly
that.
he already built.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you were gonna do that, man, you would have saved 400 gold.
Well, now he's not thinking about Scotty. Now he's thinking about Reaver again. So
Oh my!
who knows?
Did he sell it?
I'm pretty sure.
I would. Oh,
Well, he's got a
wasteful.
Satanic.
Just wasteful.
Oh, Satanic for Gyrocopter as well. All right, our carries are just it's a beautiful dance as they progress through their items.
That's the bougie Luna. Doesn't even care that she's wasting the gold.
Roger's like, damn it. I would say Roger was like, damn it, I've been stacking up for you, but honestly, I don't think Roger has stacked once for him. Pretty sure Roger has only stacked for himself. I feel like he's farmed every single stack he's
gotta look out for number 1 cap.
for Spirits, I guess so.
As they're gonna go in for the Roshan themselves this time, as they got a lot of map control back. They rested it back.
They're super scary. There's no way RNG can give this one up, right? Giving up Aegis as well as Cheese to a Wisp lineup, that's always dangerous, but no one's going to be able to stall them up a lot. They don't want to precast BKB to be able to run inside the pit. That would just allow VP to retreat and win the fight off of that. So Monet wraps around, goes down the river from the other side, combined with the arrow and such. VP are forced to give up on the fast Roshan that they were attempting. Monet just being fearless thanks to his Satanic. He can put himself on that front line now. There is that top lane push with the double siege wagon.
Oh,
Pasha nailed by the arrow, but is RNG really going to try and capitalize on that? No, they're not. Not in these top tight corridors.
Oh. They're going to lead with the Fiend's Grip.
Fiend's Grip, they are going to be able to get the Fire Blast, allowing Monet to be able to get away from that one. He's going to throw down the ultimate, start getting some flank-handed shots, but Pasha goes into that back line, immediately identifies the OD, couldn't quite finish him off, not enough damage. Setsu is able to get away, but his BKB as well as Monet's, they're both retreating with their magic immunity items, and now Monet doesn't have a Satanic anymore. He's first to fight, now they have to buy back. They want to be able to fight over this Roshan. Another call going down as Lana trying to sneak in from the side to be able to get his arrow, but not able to get it. Setsu is able to finish off the Invoker as well as the Io. Both buying back now. The Bane is going to be left to die.
And Setsu did so much there. Drops the Hex, drops his ulti, then 2 shots everybody in that vicinity, completely turns the fight around.
And it looks so nasty for him at first when Pasha found that initiation again. 2/3 of his health just went out the way in those 2-3 seconds, but
It tells you right there, no Spirit Vessel charges left. They're going to walk into the Roshan pits. They know that they have the advantage here quite heavily in this area now.
Sunstrike going to be able to get some vision. They desperately need some tornadoes and EMPs. They need to just kind of poke at RNG until they're weak enough that maybe they can contest, but looks like Roshan's just a bit too low, and RNG will bail themselves out. It costs them some buybacks and such, but they will get the Aegis into their hands, and I think very importantly, keep the cheese out of Roger's hands.
That fight looks so weird because the one thing about the Luna Axe is once everyone has BKB, you're just hesitant to cast it. And then by the time you cast it, because you don't want to just hold on to it too when you have your BKB going.
Yeah.
As we see the
See that
script,
fight again.
he's going to get stunned up, and he pops.
Look at Pasha with that Shadow Blade. He waited so long, and he found that opening, and I thought, oh, sick. You're just going to do so much damage. Sadly, though, the Aghanims from Ramses just really doesn't do enough. They are able to chase down Monet, but at the same time, we're going to see Setsu on just like 1/3 of his HP come back in and go for the kill on no one.
Part of it is because Ramses decided to take the fight on the left side.
Yeah.
You saw him like split downwards. Maybe if he's there, he lucid beams, hits him like 2 or 3 times. Because he's steady enough that I think he wouldn't just die from the OD ult as well. Maybe I'm wrong here.
No, I think you're probably right about that, especially given how healthy he was at that point. But yeah, just a split focus. Loses VP, the Roshan.
And that's 7k gold now. And this is another strength that we normally see at VPs, is just like their ability to work around each other in these team fights.
Yeah.
Not really seeing it quite yet. In this game at least.
Tome so close to level 25 for the Luna, but she's not quite there.
They're going to burn out some mana, but Barrow's just going to walk in.
33 experience, that's all he needs. So just 1 or 2 creeps dying, that'll be enough now. Chain stun into the arrow.
Get this mini stun.
Yeah, that mini stun is
You need
real
more
dangerous
stun.
with the Aghanim Scepter.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's the Solar Eclipse Luna.
The cheese went to Flyby, by the way.
I appreciate it. Although I do love Hex on this hero or this sort of item build.
Yeah, agreed. Refresher, Aghanim Scepter, level 25 Luna. That is going to be terrifying, especially if Pasha ever finds an opening like this. They try and get some of the damage out. Tornado going out as well, but Setsu, look at his commitment. A big hammer drop goes down. They're able to finish up both the axes as well as the base. The fight back coming out for Ramses with the Eclipse going down. Is that going to be enough to find any kills? Setsu bearing out the Elder Titan. Now Monet's back into it with BKB. Another Aghanim Scepter being activated by Ramses. That's just ripping him apart, but he gets off the cheese just in time. Monet takes a lot of damage as well, but even with the double Satanics and such, this is just not enough. This Luna is going to be bailed out by the relocate. Otherwise, he would have died there to the side. No one. Setting up, does manage to get a nice tornado onto 2.
Just not enough damage.
No.
It looks so close right there, but
Another
even with the refresher.
Initiation, Roger can't tether away, and Arrow follows up that fire blast from Flyby.
They can't fight because the Luna doesn't have buyback. She all-in committed for this refresher, and
Yeah.
it looks so underwhelming.
It does. It does.
She dropped the double ulti hammer, and I mean, Flyby just popped cheese, walked calmly back in.
And look at this. They're still in tier 2 up, so RNG can't go for Megas. They're just going to go straight for the tier 4s, knowing they've still got another 30 seconds with that axe gone. Solo trying to get the Fiend's grip onto the ODs, dropping a little bit low. Afu's actually going to die in the bouncing glaze with the side onto Ramses. He's in trouble. They need the Deafening Blast to be able to bail him out, but he can't quite get back to the fountain. Setsu just kept on swinging and managed to blink away before no one gets any real damage on him. No one now left in a 1 versus 4 for 15 seconds. Needs to be able to find a way to slow this down, but Solo says it's not possible. They're going to call the GG here, and another series that is going to end 1-1.
After a 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 all day. As VP, I mean, this is such a weird sort of like style that we saw from